This is the Cast Podcast, episode 1. Sammy BE, Bizman Bassey here with a new podcast show. You guys already know me from the EFRTV podcast all over the net. You know what I do, comedic side, the acting side. But now I've brought you a new podcast that details everything that's happening in society, life and times, news, just anything that's happening in society to get people's perspectives, and also add a little bit of comedy to it, because, not everything has to be so serious. But on that note, I also have 2 female guests, because on my other podcast, as you guys already know, I have 2 gentlemen. In this one, I have, again, John Don Sterling on the boards. And then I also have 2 intelligent, spectacular, beautiful women who are models in the industry. Phenomenal.
Stop.
To get the female perspective of things, I have Miss Savannah Bee. Miss B.
What up?
Yeah, get a one time for her. And I got Luisa L, the Italian mommy.
Yo, from the Bronx. What's good?
Thank you, females. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, females. Right?
My pleasure.
This podcast is our first podcast, and we actually got MTA Booking representative, one of the lawyers, is Mr. Art, and he was able to give a brief comment about what's going on in that nature, and then we will get a full-length interview from MTA Bookings. And for people who don't know, MTA Bookings is owned by a husband and wife team, Kashaya and
I can't wait.
And Steve Ferguson. So we'll see how that goes.
I have so many questions for them. I was gonna
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Get them together.
Well, what happened was we actually were gonna interview him, but the lawyer, Mr. R, came in and kind of interjected and said that right now it's not ready. We'll be putting out a formal statement. The whole blah 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 that lawyers say.
Rightfully so. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's smart. You gotta lawyer up. It's too much money being discussed. $3.6 million. That's a lot of money. That's not play money.
Well, we'll see.
That's not true money.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that.
That's yacht money.
Yeah. That's what he claims. But people are gonna always throw in numbers. They've already denied saying that it wasn't $3.6 million. To TMZ, they already stated it was that. So we'll get their perspective.
Yeah, I read that on TMZ.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But people be saying anything, just to say whatever, So it is what it is. But on other notes, what's going on? We'll be playing that the statement that Mr. R put in respect to his clients, the MTA Bookings, and we'll play that so you guys can hear, and then we'll follow up with questions on that later on after they put out their statements later on in the week. But what's been happening in the news? What's the hot topic? What's trending? What's going on, Luisa? What's going on?
Yes, well, one of the things that I found, just to move off topic from this celebrity here, talk about scandal. We have a GoFundMe scandal, and it involves Mark D'Amico, Kate McClure, Johnny Bobbitt Jr. And Mr. Bobbitt Jr. is a homeless vet. And Mark and Kate are a couple. And essentially, in the wake of Thanksgiving, so many things to be thankful for. But Mr. Bobbitt Jr., unfortunately, like I said, is homeless. And what Kate and Mark decided to do was get in on this little scandal with Johnny and kind of put out this, oh, woe is me, like help me out kind of thing to raise money for Mr. Bobbitt Jr. But what ended up happening was they spent it all on themselves. Mm-hmm. So now that case, which I guess at first, they didn't think it was going to go viral. It definitely did.
And where is this?
Oh my God!
I think in Jersey or Pennsylvania.
Was it Jersey? You know what? Of course, right? Why don't I have the answer to that question? That I didn't get for some reason. I was just so involved in the actual storyline here, but I do know that they are charged with second-degree conspiracy and theft by deception, which could mean 10 to 20 years in prison for each of them.
If I had a GoFundMe account, I would be storing money too. I'm putting it right in my bank account.
Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
I mean,
what do you mean?
Think about it. I mean, they were able to get away with how many? Like what? 500,000, 700,000? Like
no, actually. So I believe the number was upwards to 400,000.
Wow.
Which I saw that they spent most of it on gambling. And then there were a series of pictures of them just kind of like traveling around the U.S.
Right.
And that's kind of crazy, though, because, you know, on the flip side to this, GoFundMe is initially made for people who really need help with their medical expenses, you know, just like any kind of like real, true tragedy of a story. And, you know, this is really tainting the public eye. I think, you know, everyone's going to be skeptical now. Like, do I really believe this story or not? But
the thing is with GoFundMe, though, it has like scam, you know, elements to the GoFundMe, you know, because people will be saying that, you know, they lost their one eye, you know, the baby got an extra tooth and
I mean,
you know what I mean? So
yeah, but like, not every kid. Well, come on now. You know what? I think there should be an extra layer, you know, just to, I think you're right. I think GoFundMe should really kind of like, before you just post any kind of story publicly, I think there should be like an extra layer of interrogation, so to speak,
a blanket of security or something. Yeah, exactly. I know, right?
That they have to confirm, like, exactly. Like who is the one? They
pimping the internet.
Right.
I need to call them though. They need to give me the recipe.
GoFundMe is not gonna do any security because they get a percentage of, you know, the
they do, yes,
the sales, the revenue, or whatever that's coming. So it's like they're taking out of their pocket.
But let me tell you this. So also in the same report, who is it from GoFundMe has spoke up and basically said that you know, they don't condone the actions of these three people, obviously, and that they are willing to refund all of the donors' money. So basically, GoFundMe is out of $400,000 because,
right,
you know, so it would be a benefit to them to have that extra layer of protection in the end.
Well, I remember it wasn't GoFundMe. I had a PayPal account, and somebody sent me $20, and I just closed the account. And it was, and you
kept the $20?
Yeah, of course. I wanted to get something. I wanted to get some lunch. I had no money for lunch, so I had to get something to eat.
Oh, well.
But you know, it is what it is. I don't. I mean, I should probably stop saying because I still use PayPal. I don't want them to be like
come after you.
Yeah,
I know. And so, so there's that for yet another scandal that's going on in today's news. There's another issue that I found involving Jennifer Lawrence, actress Jennifer Lawrence. So they're talking about cultural appropriation. There is a Mexican designer, Maria Grazia Chiuri, if I'm saying that correctly. And she has these really, really gorgeous handbags. And so basically they're calling it like a modern, I don't know, a modern twist on like ancient Mexican culture or something of the sort. Mm-hmm. But Phoebe Robinson from Two Dope Queens, the podcast Two Dope Queens, she chimed in on Instagram and tweeted Jennifer Lawrence and said, you know what? Why couldn't you just find an actress or a model of Mexican descent? And why couldn't, instead of shooting in California, why couldn't you just go to Mexico or something like that to really kind of give like a more authentic vibe to the actual like the point of the whole collection, right?
You guys are models. You and Savannah,
yes.
Luisa and Savannah. You guys are models. What do you think about this whole topic of cultural appropriation? Sometimes I think people are too sensitive, though. At the same time, you know, I don't know what you guys think about that.
Right.
You know, I think it does matter, but I think at the same time,
I can appreciate different cultures. So, I don't think it's cultural appropriation until you use it.
Use it
inappropriately. You use it inappropriately or without regard or respect to the culture. Like,
right.
Anytime you pay homage to someone, make sure that you honor them and you pay homage to them. You don't want to sing Purple Rain and then disrespect Prince or disregard Prince. You want to honor Prince. You know, so yeah.
Right.
That's what I feel. I don't think it's really a misappropriation. I think that it's more so showing homage and honoring that person respectably. You know, respectfully.
You gotta put them on a pedestal.
Yeah, I mean, do it the right way. You don't want your hard work. You know, you're working hard, and someone comes to commemorate you, and it's poor. You know, it's subpar. So
what do you think about this whole thing of you know, because I'm not really a model guy, but you know, I keep my head in the fashion and the GQ magazines and all that.
Tips on how to dress.
You know, yeah, you know what I mean. What you think about, you know, the whole skin color with the you know, people looking like Luisa, and then they all of a sudden looking like Tina Turner the next day. Like, how does that work? How does that work out? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Wait. So they're darkening their skin now?
You know, so then they like, you know, look like Shaq the next day or some shit. You know?
Wait, so where are they darkening their skin now? I've been heard of a lot of people.
Nah, the IG models. You know what I mean? The IG models. There's a big trend that's going on where you have fair skin or light skin or white skin women.
I don't think that's relevant now. I don't feel like that's as people make it out to be.
It's not relevant, or it is relevant?
Not amongst women. I think it's more prevalent amongst men. You guys make the bigger deal about who's dark and light. I don't think we as women sit around and be like, "Oh, I'm dark," or "Oh, you're light," or I think guys.
Are you asking you guys are the models? You asking me? I don't know.
I feel like we all. I think as a model, I can say as a model, I feel like a designer or whoever you're working for, a client, everyone has different tastes. So whether it's all about their taste, it has nothing to do with you or your skin. It's like if I like you for my clothes or my brand or my line, I'm gonna pick you. I've worked with designers who had models who look nothing like me. So. You know, I think people make a big deal about it. It's not I think as models, I speak for me and Luisa, like it's not a big, I don't know, it's not a big deal for me. I can say that.
It's definitely interesting to even bring that up at all, because, you know, a lot of, if you're unfamiliar with the modeling world, there is, the one thing that people always try to tell you is that you have to have thick skin because you will get rejected more than you'll be accepted. And it has nothing to do with you personally. It has nothing to do with your skin color. It has nothing to do with the way you look. I mean, sometimes, but like, so Savannah, I'm a size 6 model, and a lot of runway goes up to size 4. So as an example, like I've been called fat directly from the designer's mouth, and he didn't want me just because I'm just a little bigger, and I'm not fat at all, but it's just
one designer's Hold on. I just want to add this. One designer, I want to comment on 2 things she said. But you know, one designer's like they say, one man's trash, another man's treasure.
Right, and that's so true.
With designers, it's the same way. With clients, it's the same way. I also want to comment on what you said. You were saying in the modeling world. What did you just say, Louise? I'm sorry. Go back. You said in the modeling world.
Oh, well, just that, like, as an example, something that I face that I have to not take personal is being a bigger model, you know?
My modeling coach, I had a model coach when I first started. I met him. He was actually working at LA Fitness, and I was going there to like work out and train because I had a fashion show coming up. And he used to be a model, so he decided to, you know, coach me. And he told me, he said, look in the mirror and just find something you love about yourself. He said, because there's going to be somebody in this industry is going to tell you everything they hate about you. So you need to find something you love about yourself, hold on to that, and never forget it and let it go. So
that's good advice.
Yes, I definitely agree with you as far as you have to love yourself. Being a model is about being confident more than it is about taking a picture.
And self-assured. Like you cannot rely on other people. Yes. And I think that's just a good lesson in general.
It's just about being
like,
esteemed.
Yeah.
Be esteemed and know that every woman comes with flaws. Like every woman has their flaws, no matter what. Even if it's not a flaw to you, it might be a flaw to her. You know what I mean? So, but we all have to embrace who we are and how God made us, and keep pushing. Why
is it always models or people who look great always try to give the pep talk? You know what I mean? Like, know the models that be trying to get the pep talk and all that. And
let me say this.
You got no chance. You got no chance to do what you guys are doing.
No, Sammy, listen. I grew up in an era where Wesley Snipes was good looking to be dark, but everybody else wasn't. Okay? If you weren't Wesley Snipes and you was dark skinned, you were ugly. Okay? So I came from the end of the line, so now I'm at the front of the line and I'm enjoying it, okay? But but yeah, for sure. I think Luisa and I both understand that we both are we're gems.
You know, the whole thing is that, you know, it was really hard for me in the beginning to feel that I was pretty. And I grew up wearing glasses. Like I have contacts in right now. So I used to hide behind my glasses, you know, and I would never take them off. And I would just kind of feel like I looked better with them on. And I remember it was only 2 years ago that I bought myself my first pair of contacts. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just do this. Let me just like accept me naked, you know, like me, like with no makeup on, like, because I have like a big old nose and like, you know, whatever. And like, I have a very angular face and, you know, that's not attractive to some people, but it's gorgeous and like, beautiful to others, you know? So trust me, Sammy, you know, you're sitting here saying, why is it always the models that are like, but you know, sometimes the best models really come from the most humble background. And
Amen.
I agree. They really have to learn to love themselves to be more pretty.
Listen. Have you noticed it's like everybody that was popping in school is not popping now, and everybody
oh my God, yes,
is popping. I'm serious. It's like a switch.
It's karma, baby. It's karma.
Listen, if you ugly, I'm gonna say, listen, you got a face that your mama would love. That's it.
Oh
you know
my God.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I'm gonna keep it 100. You got a face that your grandmama would love. All right.
You're gonna take it back a generation now. You gotta stop.
So you know, but
grandmothers are always more accepting.
yeah. You know, but I think it's cool. I think what we have here is a good combination. You know what I mean? You know, intellect and I like the perspectives that we, you know, the fashion. So, you know, the fashion shaming and stuff like that. I think, you know, what you guys bring is a good point because there's a lot of females who don't have self-confidence.
Yes.
You know, and
you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself.
Yeah,
ain't nobody gonna love you unless you love you. Okay. Period.
Right.
So much easier said than done, though.
But I could put Luisa, if you need it, you go to the World Star Hip Hop calendar, and I could put a King Magazine calendar. If that's what you want to be in. 6 numbers. They take the thick. What is that? 6 is what it's. See, I don't know the numbers. Is that thick?
Well, dress size really. So like dress size for runway is typically like a 0 to 4. Typically, these days some designers will take 6. I'm like maybe a smaller 6. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I'm willing to get into wherever I fit in. I'm gonna go.
And Savannah, what are you?
I need you. You can call me Savvy. You can call me
Savvy. Savvy. What
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What is your what is your size? What is the size?
Your dress size. Your dress size.
Oh, I'm a 2.
Okay,
you're
skinny.
So you're skinny. So you're okay.
I'm really super skinny, and it's like it's not because I don't eat or I don't want to gain weight. I eat. I think I haven't. My weight fluctuates sometimes, but I definitely eat. So I don't know. I want to gain a little weight. I want to be thick, you know, slim thick, you know. That's what I.
Savvy, how tall are you though?
I'm only 5'8", so a lot of the times I'm overlooked because in heels I'm flat-footed. I'm 5'8", but in heels
I'm 5'9", flat-footed. Yeah.
So in heels I look much taller. So, but standing next to a girl who's already 6 feet in heels, you know, sometimes you look shorter. But that doesn't stop me. You know, I became the face of Gap within 6 months of modeling. So
congratulations!
Thank you so much. I won a trip to Paris when I came to New York Fashion Week and competed last season, and I keep, you know, you gotta keep pushing, girl.
You gotta
keep grinding. You gotta love yourself. You know,
you gotta find your niche. See, that's the thing. You know, like I know this is like turning into like model talk over here, but
I know, right?
But it's true.
And I ain't really trying to be on that subject all day. You know what I mean? For real.
Well,
don't be a hater.
Sammy.
Don't be a hater. He mad. He can't go model. Right. Put on some Hanes. We're gonna buy him some Hanes and let him take a picture. And we're gonna send it to to their headquarters, and hopefully they pick up the ad and run Run the ad. Sammy and Haynes. Yes. Okay, Michael Jordan.
I can't be in no hand. You gotta. My shit gotta be shorts too low or some shit. You know what I mean? Droopy low.
Whatever.
Hang by the knees.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? That's the campaigns I gotta be on. All right, cool, man. I mean, what's going on? You guys into what's the politics? Anything new in the politics?
Well, there's a volcano happening near Guatemala, so please keep those people in your prayers. Hopefully they'll come out safe. It's spewed.
Savannah,
officials are already urged evacuations.
That's not political, Savannah. She said an earthquake coming into. She said, "Oh, that's political."
Well, you know what? She took a different route. Okay, she doesn't follow directions.
As far as like politics, are we gonna talk about Donald Trump? Lord Jesus.
No, I was seeing what's going on, but you know that's.
But I feel like that was it's world news. Okay, you know what?
All right, I guess so.
Politics. I mean, Sammy B, do you have anything? Because I cannot say.
Well, my thing is, I'm shocked because of the Tekashi 6IX9 shit. That's where that's where my head was at. My shit
was entertainment. Mr. Politics.
Because the but like I said, you know, my thing was on the Tekashi because you know we had this interview set up and nobody want to start talking. Maybe they feel like they gonna get set up by the feds or something. I don't know. Nobody want to answer their phones and all that, but it's all good.
Well, you know what? Speaking of politics, we must absolutely congratulate the recent Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the youngest female to get elected.
Okay, congratulations to her.
Yeah, she's actually she was born and raised. Well, she was born in the Bronx, and then her family moved her up to Westchester. But she is born in the Bronx. I can say that. And you know, she's 29 years old. So she definitely speaks to the younger demographic, which I think is amazing. She is Spanish, which also speaks to minorities. And I don't know. I think, what do you guys think about this? Because honestly, I think having a younger... I
feel like it's time for a change. I think women should... I feel like women should be empowered anyways. I think the world would know peace the day.
Girl, too many bottles of wine are going to go missing.
Yes. I mean, I just feel like we'd all be in harmony and everyone, the world would... I mean, that's the reason why God made us moms. He didn't, you know, make men the caretakers. You know, we just know how to nurture things and bring life and breathe life. So I think we would be...
y'all,
I think it's very awesome that she won. So congratulations to her and her whole team. I know how hard it is to run a campaign. I used to, you know.
Yes, Sammy. Yes, Sammy B.
Oh yeah. What are you saying? I was gonna say, y'all women already powerful. Y'all running this damn podcast already, talking about whatever y'all want to talk about.
What? You ain't chiming in. Jay ain't chiming in. Ain't nobody chiming in.
Y'all running this podcast. Y'all powerful already on this podcast. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Chime. Ain't that right? 2 cents.
You know what I mean?
2 cents.
All right. But no. I mean, it's good. This is like our intro. You know, we want everybody to keep tuning in. We like I said, the next episode, we will follow up with MTA Bookings to get an in-depth interview, and you know, we're gonna have Savannah B, Miss B if you're nasty, and Luisa L to chime in and ask their questions and ask the hard questions on that interview. But I mean, this is a good intro. You know, I like what the cast. Short for podcast. I like what the cast is doing, and we're just gonna keep hitting the viewers with some more. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I thank y'all. You know, shout out your Instagrams and everything like that, because you know you gotta blast this shit out.
Make sure you follow your girl Savannah B at Model World on IG, on Twitter. It's all the same. Model Girl, Model World.
Yes, and mine is very simple. It's just Luisa Models, Luisa, no O, please, thank you, because that always happens and it pisses me off. But Luisa Models on Instagram. Yeah, and simple.
You know, these are two elite models, and you know it's me, Sammy B, the perfect person in the world. You know me, EcoFire TV. That's where you can catch my Twitter and Instagram handle. And that's it, man. That's episode 1, man. You know what I mean? This is good, man. The cast, man. I thank y'all. Can I get a soul clap one time for Mr. John Sterling on the board? Soul clap for my engineers. You know what I'm saying? Super engineer. And we keep it like that, man. The cast, man. Stay blessed. God bless.
We out.
I'm speaking to Art, who's the lawyer representing Steve and Kashaya Ferguson from MTA Bookings. How's everything with you, man? How's everything?
It's good, brother. It's good.
Okay. We want to know what's going on because, there's always two sides to the story. And, you guys are the booking agency. I know TMZ. You guys spoke to TMZ. They kind of twisted your words around a little bit. And, you see what's unraveling within the last day or two. With Tekashi, maybe you wanted to clarify exactly what's going on,
Well, at this time, just to let you know, we're not making any public comments. We'll issue a statement by tomorrow morning. Just in terms of what issues exist in the case with Tekashi and with MTA Booking, but we'll issue a statement that we actually send in writing. You have by tomorrow. If you want to send me your email or fax number, you call my cell phone, and I'll make sure you have it. But right now, we don't have a comment until tomorrow morning.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Do you guys feel like you guys are vindicated by what's been going on? Yeah, as far as what's been unraveling from the case and everything like that. Because you guys were the initial promoters for him.
Well, the key issue that we'll address tomorrow is our stance on it. I can tell you this is that the negative comments made by in the past, we vehemently deny and we'll pursue all remedies that we have available. But like I said, again, we'll make a statement that addresses all these issues tomorrow that will be conclusive. And I need to discuss the communication with the clients to make sure that they're all up to speed in the process. That this is happening in real time as we speak.
Right.
So, but from their perspective, like I said before, my clients deny the negative allegations and statements that the gentleman made on social media and the Breakfast Club, and they'll pursue all rights they have to.
Right. So you guys will take legal action against Tekashi because of the negligence, the defamational words that he spoke about the agency, correct?
Well, we're still looking at what the remedies are. Like I said, again, we haven't had that conversation yet in terms of where this is going to go. But we're looking at all remedies and all options. We haven't made a decision yet, but we are looking at all options that are available.
Let me ask you a question. How long were you guys working with Tekashi? Like, when did you guys start actually booking shows for him? Has it been a long time, or was it just a few days? Exactly what's your initial encounter? I can't
comment on that. Right, I can't comment on that just yet because I don't have all the information. I'll put that in a written statement tomorrow, but we're still gathering information in terms of the whole background. But I don't have that information available right now to share with you.
Okay. All right. What is your role? Because I know Kashia and Steve, they're like the owners. Are you like the legal rep for them? Or
yes, I'm the attorney for the company.
You're the attorney for the company. Okay, let me ask you another question. Can we have a follow-up after you put out the statement tomorrow to kind of follow up on to go more in detail?
Yes, no doubt. Just like I said, my cell phone number. You can send me your email or information so I can send you the statement. And yes, after we put the statement out, definitely have a follow-up conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair enough. All right. Thank you. And we'll speak to you, I guess, after the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. And to you and your family.
You too, my man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care.